What's going on, my beautiful people? It's your boy Jake back with another video review and comparison here. I have two retail shoes. This one I got, you guys seen the review in the Real Fake, and this one I got from a friend of mine, well, a friend of a friend, that he got from StockX by mistake. So he put a bid in and walked away, and someone accepted his bid while he still went searching, and he found himself a size 12. And then he ended up getting a size 12 and a half by mistake. So he doubled up, didn't want it, tried as much as he can to get rid of it, and then ended up getting it at a really good price. So that's why I went for it. So without further ado, let's get on with it. You know, I just do my retail versus retail reviews to try to cover everything when it comes to the sneaker community, because, you know, I try to bring perspective and clarity to the sneaker community, you know, because a lot of people like to talk, but they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. They just say, hey, you know, these shoes, you know, none of these shoes are the same, this and that. Okay, all right, fine. Well, let's prove it. You know, so far, there's been differences with all of these shoes. You know what I mean? But is it to the point that is that different, you know, from the fakes? So there's tiny flaws, you know, certain flaws with these legit pairs. But you know it's a legit pair. There's still consistencies with them. But with these, you know, these replicated fake pairs, you know, they're still like completely different. And also, I have another fake pair coming. So I still try to cover everything as much as I can. So I'm not going to look at the boxes. The boxes are exactly the same size and everything. So there's not much difference with the boxes between the 12 and the 12 and a half. So I'm just going to pull these out. One already has a StockX tag on it. There's certain things I can't do, like weigh them and everything, so we're not going to have to worry about that. So we can just put these over like that. And let's get this comparison going. All right? You can see that there. They're the same height. So now I'm really mixed up. I got to figure out which one's a 12 and a half and which one's a 12. All right, 12 and a half, 12 and a half. All right. 12. Now the first differences was what? Like the speckles here and in the back. So let's take a look at the speckles on the 12, size 12. And the toe box where it curved in. Let's see if this 12 and a half curves in. Yes, it does. And I mean, the speckle print will vary, but it looks like it has the same amount. It's not like obvious. So this is the 12 and a half. Here goes the 12. Take a look at the specs. Like the splatter marks. So of course that will vary. Let's take a look at the suede and the cut, which cut around the toe box, the mudguard area, and the stitching, the netting. Everything seems to look okay. Let's take a look at the tongue height. Move this. Did a good tug on them. Looks pretty good. Now we're going to take a look at the front. We're going to take a look at the stars. Are these stars looking the same? And I would like to say yes, they are. I think the most important part, right? Because I'm not going to keep this video going too long. But I'm going to take a look at the left shoes and take a look at the same thing. How are these specs on here? It seems like everything looks pretty much on par. Yeah, I think this is the shoe that had the lighter specs, the size 12. And there it is right here. Sorry about that, kept this shoe too low. So I put it here. See those specs. See if I can bring this down a little bit. And then here's the 12.5. That has a little bit more. So of course that would vary, but my main thing is I want to look at the insoles. I think that was the most important part, right? They said AJ11 and AJ3. So this is, but it's very faint. So this one says, can you see it? AJ3. So both insoles, let's see if it's, let me see the other 12.5 says AJ3 on it or AJ11. But we both know that my size 12s both said, one said AJ11 and one said AJ3. So I guess that should be the only two insoles in these shoes. And this one, AJ3. You see it? AJ3. So both insoles in the size 12 say AJ3. And my 12 says AJ11 and the other one says AJ3. I don't think it's much to cover on here, but shoe sheet 12, 12.5. I can do one more thing, is like maybe blacklight them, but these shoes are pretty much spot on. That's like a real spot on. I could put the black light on them and call it a day. Like the suede material, everything's completely exact. There's nothing different. Absolutely nothing different on these. So I can black light them and see if there's any. I'm sure with Stock X, those Stock X pairs have probably been through a lot of hands. So you might see something funky. Hopefully not. All right, so black lights on. We got some glue up front. The standard stuff, Usually on fakes you'll see that trace and pen mark here and stuff, and there's really not much. It's the typical glue that you would see on these shoes. Got a little something here in the corner, so it's not much. So I think that should cover it. There's really nothing to see here. There's not much difference. So there's no need to weigh them because they're two different sizes, 12, 12.5. So I'm not going to weigh them. So I'm going to leave it at that. So what's your take on this? There's nothing spectacular, nothing, nothing damning or damaging, or nothing to really talk about to be like, oh man, look at this and look at that. Like some other pairs, like those Georgetown 3s and stuff like that. These look like they've been made pretty well. Both shoes made pretty well and pretty on par with the production, how they were put together. So we got two shoes that basically look the same, and the replicated pairs don't look it. And I'll be doing a video with that. I actually just got the tracking number. From Cross the Water. So give it a couple of weeks, and I'll be doing an updated video on it. So with that being said, yeah, oh, I can see it here, like the specs. You can see it from there. And that's gonna vary, so that's not a big deal. Well, so like, comment, share, subscribe. What's your take on this video review? Did you see something that I didn't see? Just point it out for me so we can all get clarity together. All right, it's your boy Jake signing out. I got another video to do, and I got to get ready for work. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for watching and listening through the whole video. If you did, that's what's up. It's your boy Jake signing out. Peace.